7 ways to overcome emotional trauma from an unhealthy childhood. Children who suffer traumatic experiences often grow up to be bitter adults, hating the world and the people in it. They find it hard to trust people, and most painful is that they sometimes resort to drugs and alcohol to help soothe the pains in which they feel deep in their heart. Some of them feel that there is no need of being close to people, because they lose their trust in people, especially when they were traumatized by someone very close to them, like a family member. Childhood trauma can result from anything that makes a child feel helpless and disrupts their sense of safety and security, including sexual, physical, or verbal abuse, domestic violence, an unstable or unsafe environment, separation from a parent, neglect, bullying, serious illness, or intrusive medical procedures. But there is hope for people living with emotional trauma from their childhood, and here are 7 ways to overcome these traumas. Number 1. Accept the trauma for what it is. People who are victims of childhood trauma often spend most of their adulthood trying to forget the fact that it happened. Some of them even try to pretend or dismiss that it never happened. Some even go to the point of yielding into feelings of self-guilt or self-blame. Others live with the pain in their heart, and this ends up living bitter lives that nothing that happens to remind them of the experiences they had while growing up does not interest them. They completely shut themselves away from the world and would do anything to hide themselves from such a feeling. All these things will only keep the pain deep-rooted in your heart. The very first thing to do if you want to get rid of that pain is to accept the fact that it happened and that it was not your fault. If you believe this, then your healing process has just begun. Number 2, regain control. People that have the experience of childhood traumas most times feel so helpless about the whole situation that they fear talking or sharing with someone else for so many reasons, one of which is fear. They eventually carry this fear into adulthood, and this makes them act and feel like a permanent victim of the trauma, thus causing them to make so many bad choices in life based on their past pain. When you accept that you are a victim, you have automatically given the past the control over your present. But when you fight over your pain and conquer it, that is when you can confidently control your present. There will always be issues dragging you to the past, but if you are determined to let go, you will always win no matter what, and be able to reclaim control over your life, and in the process, heal your pain. Number 3, seek for support. It is a natural behavior among people that are suffering from different kinds of traumas. They feel the best thing to do is to isolate themselves from the rest of the world, but this has proven not to be the best solution because some victims most times end up in depressions, and since they have isolated themselves from people, it is difficult for them to be helped and they end up killing themselves. So isolating yourself from people will only worsen the situation. But the only way you can save yourself from that trauma is to connect with people. Possibly join support groups where you can easily share your problems in confidence. So make efforts to maintain your relationship with people you can trust while you seek help and support. Like I said earlier, you can decide to talk to a trusted family member, friend, or counselor, or probably join a support group for survivors of childhood trauma. Number 4, take care of your health. If you are unhealthy, coping with the stress that comes with facing such traumas will be very difficult. So for you to effectively fight the trauma, you have to make sure that you are well and healthy at every point in time. You can cope very well. So do well to establish a daily routine that will help improve your health. It could be having enough time to rest, eating a healthy and balanced meal at all times, and engaging in exercises regularly. But the most important of these is that you should stay far away from alcohol and drugs. Most people feel that alcohol and drugs are the best ways to combat the stress of childhood traumas, but they are just fallacies. These depressants will only increase your pain and end you up as a junkie. They might provide temporary relief, but will intensify your feelings of depression, anxiety, and isolation, and can worsen your trauma symptom. Number 5, learn to accept what has happened and let go. The only way to let go of a particular issue or problem is to accept it first. This does not mean that you are embracing what happened to you or that you like it. It just means that you have decided what you want to do with the problem you are having. If you want to decide what happens in your life, it lies solely in your hands either to let it go or allow it to rule over your life. Letting go means that you are no longer going to allow these bad memories of a bad childhood to steal your happiness and rob you of living a good life. You also have to understand that letting go does not happen in a day. It takes time and a lot of work, but most importantly, determination. Once you are determined and work towards it, you will overcome. 6. Replace your bad habits with good ones. When you have made up your mind to let go of your traumas, you have to start working towards the realizations of that dream. One of the things you have to do is to replace all those negativities with positive habits. Get busy with yourself. Look for something that will take your mind off that pain and get busy with it. Start allowing people to get closer to you so that you can start learning to trust people again. Try as much as possible not to turn to drugs, especially when the feelings become too hard to bear. Bad habits are really difficult to drop, especially when they seem helpful to you, when in reality, they are not helpful. The best thing to do to help with the replacement of bad habits is joining a support group or a therapist that can help you learn the tools necessary to break those habits and replace them with new ones. And number 7, be patient. You have to know that all these cannot be achieved in a day or even a week. It took years of suffering, and ending this trauma will be a slow process. You have to be patient with yourself. Do not get infuriated when it seems like things are too slow. Always remember to take one step at a time. These are feelings and they have to be replaced carefully, and that definitely will take a lot of time and patience. Honor your progress no matter how small it may seem, and always remember that it is the little victories in your recovery that will eventually help you win the battle of healing your childhood trauma. So what's your opinion about this? I hope you enjoyed watching this cool video, and if you have something on your mind, don't hesitate to share your thoughts and experience in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive constant notifications. Thanks for watching.